Life ain't fair, and nobody cares about you. Unfortunately, that is the sad truth. Life ain't fair, and nobody cares. By the way, I'm Shantae Charles. If you have been laid off from your job, you're struggling to get by, or you're afraid of getting laid off because you're already struggling to get by and you don't know what you're going to do, well, come on in the room. Come on in the room. This video is for you. This video is for you. Life ain't fair. And I know that's not proper English, but that's just the cold, hard facts. Life ain't fair, and nobody cares. We see it every day with the thousands of corporations who have had mass layoffs. Over 4,500 companies have laid off people. Turn down my heater. Over 4,500 companies had layoffs, massive layoffs in 2024. Numerous companies had layoffs right before Christmas. And that's just cold-hearted. Cold-hearted. These jobs ain't loyal. They ain't loyal. They don't care about you. They care about the bottom line. We see Party City did layoffs via Zoom. And then they aren't even given a severance package. And the thing about companies that are going out of business, the thing about those companies is a lot of times you'll see people will work until the last day that particular company is in business, and then when it's time for them to get their final pay, they won't get paid. I'm not saying that will be the case with Party City, but that has happened numerous times. I saw a woman on the news. She works for a franchise cutting hair. They abruptly went out of business, and she has not gotten her paycheck. Why? Because these jobs ain't loyal. All they care about is the people at the top and or shareholders. So if you are struggling, even if you are not struggling, if you make a good wage, I'm telling you, you better do your best to get out of debt. Get out of debt. Get out of consumer debt. Stop using credit cards to try to keep up with the Joneses and whoever else. Stop trying to keep up. Get out of consumer debt. Pay off your consumer debt so that if you have a mortgage, the only thing you have to pay is your mortgage. And of course, you cannot avoid other bills. Light bill, water bill, those are unavoidable. But get out of consumer debt. Stop buying all of these high-priced vehicles. Just to say, oh, I got a brand new nice car. Who cares? At the end of the day, if you lose your job and you have to blow through your savings because you can't find another job immediately, or most Americans don't even have $1,000 saved for an emergency fund. So if you lose your job, you're one paycheck away from getting your car repossessed and being homeless or sleeping in your car. Get out of consumer debt, guys. Get out of consumer debt. My husband and I, we purchased a home, and one of the things that we agreed upon before purchasing a home, we were not going to buy a brand new home. We were not going to buy a home at the top of what the bank said we qualified for, because the bank, it is 12 degrees here. So I am wrapped up like a mummy. But we agreed that we were not going to purchase for what the bank said we qualify for, because the bank can say, oh, you can afford this amount of payment, which the bottom line is you may not actually be able to afford that high of a payment just because you qualify for it, when you take in account for your light bill, your gas, your water, putting gas in your car, keeping the insurance on your car, buying groceries. And we all know groceries are through the roof, ridiculously priced at this point. But we agreed that we were not going to buy a brand new home, that we were going to buy a home for less than what the bank qualified us for, and that we were going to buy a home using just one income. Although both of us have an income, we said we're going to buy a home with just one income. So in the event that someone loses their job, my husband loses his job, and he cannot afford to pay the mortgage, then my income can cover the mortgage. My income could keep us afloat. We didn't get caught up into the American dream of buying the biggest and the best. And we didn't get caught up on, oh, this is our dream home. No, this is not the dream. This is a starting point. This is a starting point, because for some people, the American dream has quickly turned into a nightmare. A nightmare. Sleepless nights, tossing and turning, not wondering how you're gonna pay your bills, pay your mortgage, pay your rent, hiding your car from the repo man. And I know from firsthand experience, I know, because before I got married, I purchased my first home, and I didn't have more than one income, which is something else we all have to do. We all have to have more than one income. If you only have one income, in this day and age, you are playing Russian roulette with your finances. You're playing Russian roulette, because it's just a matter of time. It is just a matter of time. It's inevitable. And I don't care what the news is saying about, oh, the economy is stable, the economy is this. They also told us everything was okay with COVID. Then what happened? We found out that was a lie. That was a lie. We were on lockdown for how many years because of COVID? Anyway, I digress. Get out of consumer debt so that if you get laid off from your job, the only thing you have to worry about paying is your rent or your mortgage. Stop worrying about keeping up with the Joneses. Stop worrying about having a fancy car. Now, I have a 2009 Corolla. I'm not driving it right now because it is cold and icy here. It's winter here where I live at in North Dakota. So it doesn't make any sense for me to be, I could drive it, but it just makes more sense for me to drive something with 4-wheel drive. But my car is a 2009 Toyota Corolla. My husband has a 2010 Toyota Tundra. And then we have a Ford Escape. I'm not sure what year that is. When my aunt decided she was going to leave North Dakota and go back home, for whatever reason, she decided she was not going to sell the car. She gave it to me and my husband. So my husband, he drives that to work, and I drive the Toyota Tundra. My point is, all three of our vehicles are not brand new, but they get us to point A, from point A to point B, and they're paid off. If my husband loses his job, or if I no longer have income, I don't have to worry about hiding my car from the repo man, worried about if it's gonna be there. If I go to the grocery store or go somewhere, is it gonna be there when I come out? My husband doesn't have to worry about if he goes into work, is the truck going to be there when he comes out? Because we were depending on both of our income to for everyday expenses. Now, I know some people, you may live somewhere where the cost of living is high. And it's no way to make it financially without you and your spouse's or a significant other's income. Now, this may come across as rude, and I'm not trying to be rude, but if you're living somewhere where the cost of living is high and you need both incomes to survive, then you need to make more money. It's inevitable that you make more money. We cannot get stuck in the struggle of living paycheck to paycheck to paycheck to paycheck. You have to make more money. You have to get to the point of where you can survive on one income, but you have more than one income. You have to make more money. It's as simple as that. People are online crying, oh, the price of groceries is so high. Groceries are so high. And yes, they are high. I have 4 kids. And my oldest son, he just turned 11. And I promise you, every time I turn around, it seems like he's trying to eat something. He's trying to eat something like he's got a tapeworm. I'm like, oh my Jesus. Why? And every time I get groceries, the grocery bill is higher and the packaging on things are smaller. The quantity is smaller. But what are we going to do about it? Pouting, getting online, whining and crying about it is not going to do a thing. It's not going to change a thing. Why? Because nobody cares. The powers that be, that have the power to set prices and control things, they don't care. It started off with, oh, supply shortage. Okay. I think that was a lie from the beginning, maybe. But supply shortage, it started off with that. But what happened? Them suckers got greedy. They got greedy once they figured out, even though the price of things are high, people are going to still buy them anyway. Because what are you going to do? You have to eat. You have to feed your children. Once they figure out people are going to buy things anyway, they kept the prices high. And in my opinion, I don't think they have any plans on lowering them. Because they're greedy and they don't care. We gotta get out of debt. We gotta stop trying to keep up with the Joneses. And we have to have more than one income. If you're married, women, I know a lot of women, I'm not saying all, but a lot of women, even when our husbands make a lot of money, a lot of us are like, oh, then I'm going to sit, I'm going to chill. And there's nothing wrong with being a stay-at-home mother and raising your children, because I don't work out in the corporate world. I don't work out in corporate. I work from home, but I work for myself. I don't work for a company. So don't think I'm knocking mothers that stay at home. There's nothing wrong with being a stay-at-home mother. Your children need you, and nobody's going to take care of your children like you will. Very few people, your grandmothers may take care of them as good as you will, but no one else is going to take care of your children as good as you will. But if your children are school-age children and you send them to school outside of your home every day, there is no reason that even if your husband makes good money, that you cannot help build your family's financial future and help leave a financial legacy. And I'm not talking to people that are married to multi-millionaires. I'm talking about the average, everyday woman. Because let's face it, the majority of us, we are not married to a millionaire. We are not married to millionaires. But just because your husband makes good money and he can afford to take care of you and the finances on his own does not mean that you can't help contribute something. And I know some men, they don't want their wives to work. I'm not quite sure what that's all about. But do something. There are so many ways that you don't even have to go out in to get a job for someone necessarily. You can start an online business creating and selling digital products. Sell what you know. Package what you've learned over the years, package it and sell it. So in the event that your husband has a good, well-paying job, if he gets hurt, God forbid if he dies, and hopefully he has life insurance, but that's a whole nother story of people not having life insurance. And side note, if you have life insurance but it's only with your job, please get some life insurance that's not tied to your job, because these jobs ain't loyal. And if and when you lose your job, life insurance, unless you get COBRA or something, it's not going over with you. And if you lose your job and you become ill, you're not going to qualify for insurance. So get insurance in addition to what your job provides to you. But in any event, if your husband, God forbid, dies, what are you going to do? Traumatize your kids by going and get another man in a hot second to lay up with and take care of you? You can contribute. If your husband gets hurt, what are you going to do? Get rid of him? Or are you going to keep him and struggle and barely get by because you didn't see the need to help a man build financial wealth, build a financial legacy? There's nothing wrong with wanting a soft life, because I know that's all the rage now, the term wanting a soft life. But whatever happened to helping a man build? And I'm not saying getting a man that has no ambition, he doesn't have a job, he works a very low wage job, he wants a woman, but he's not even trying to better himself. I'm not talking about that. And I'm not talking about getting no hobosexual. I'm not talking about that. Hear me, and hear me good. That is not what I'm talking about. And if you live somewhere where you're struggling financially and you just can't get ahead, no matter your high income or low income, you can't get ahead because the cost of living is high, move. Look for a place where jobs are plentiful, where the pay is great, and pack up and move. That's why I'm here in North Dakota. It is currently, I'm looking at the temperature, 9 degrees. Feels like negative something. But why am I here? Because the cost of living is cheaper than where I lived at before, and there is plenty of opportunity here. Plenty of opportunity. My husband has a great job. If he loses his job today, he'll find another job. He'll be working before the end of the week. He'll have another job. And that's no exaggeration. When I came here, I was a CNA, certified nursing assistant. I was making $12 an hour. I went from that to having, I started a non-medical in-home care agency, 15 employees. Now, I could have started a non-medical in-home care agency somewhere else, but I guarantee you it would not have been as easy as it was to start it here in North Dakota. Low competition. Don't be afraid to move, especially my black people. First question, are there any black people there? Well, go see, and stop thinking that every white person is out to get you. Now, I'm not saying there's no racism. We all know there's racism, and there's some ignorant people no matter where you go. Whether you live in a predominantly white state or you live in a state that's very diverse, you're gonna find ignorant people, because that's just the way the world is. But don't let fear keep you from moving somewhere and getting a better life. Because these jobs ain't loyal. They're laying off people every day. They're giving no notice. Some of these jobs are not giving a severance package. And they simply don't care. They don't care. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about you getting on the internet crying, oh, I lost my job. Oh, they fired me. Now, I feel empathy. I do. Because I've been there where I was struggling. Couldn't make ends meet. I've been there. But the bottom line is nobody cared. Nobody cared. I had to do what I had to do to change that. And to do my part to create a better life. And what was my part? Moving away from Georgia, where the jobs were scarce and the pay was low, and moving my behind out here to a predominantly white place where jobs are plentiful and the pay is well above average. I mean, well above average. And it's very affordable here. That's what I had to do. What are you willing to do? What are you willing to do to create a better future for you and yours? That's my question. Check out my video. I'm gonna pin it to the top. Check out my next video. Why I moved to the whitest state as a black woman. Until next time, be blessed and a prosperous future to you.